Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be reviewing Life. It was directed by Daniel Espinosa and released March 24, 2017. There's also going to be a lot of spoilers in this video as well. It's a sci-fi thriller horror that takes place on an international space station, and it's about 6 multinational crew members that are tasked to find life on Mars. They get a little probe to get some soil. They bring the soil back and test it and find a little single-cell organism in it, and they reanimate it because it was dormant. They reanimate it using atmosphere changes and glucose. It comes back and it like multiplies into like a multi-cell organism and becomes hostile and gets loose and starts killing everybody off one by one. Long story short. So on board you have the pilot, which is Ryan Reynolds, then you have the biologist, then you have the Japanese dude, the systems engineer, then you have the commander, the Russian girl, then Miranda is the quarantine specialist, and last you have Jake Gyllenhaal, the medical doctor. They're all trying to do their part and get shit done and kill this thing, but they're just getting outsmarted at every turn. It's a good movie overall, and it's been a while since I've seen a good sci-fi thriller horror like this. First off though, my dislikes. Rory died a little bit too soon. Rory was played by Ryan Reynolds, and you just kind of want to see his character go on a little bit longer, but I get it. The suspense was built and they needed to deliver, so he had to go. Next is the biologist, Hugh, the British black dude. He was good, but I just didn't like the way his character was written. He was written a little bit incompetent and maybe unsure of himself, and he also kind of reminded me of like a discount Idris Elba. Next, it was kind of hard to see at the end where Sho opened up the door to the rescue guys who were coming, where Calvin was there to kill him. It was just kind of like a mess. The lighting was dark. There was these red emergency lights flashing. It was just kind of tough to see what was really happening down the hall. I kind of wanted to see that a little bit more detail, because it was just a really interesting character. The alien Calvin was what they name him in this, because they they communicated down to Earth and let everybody know that they found this organism, and they asked what should we call it, and a little schoolgirl said you should call it Calvin. So they started calling it Calvin, and you know and once it grew and got bigger, it was really beastly, kind of alien that you just wanted to see more of, and you definitely got a good amount of it in this film. There was definitely no shortage of the alien, but it was just something that in that scene, the detail was a little bit off for me. Last is the ending scene. I dug the ending, even though it was a little tiny bit predictable. You kind of knew that Calvin was going to be in the pod that returned to Earth. At the very end, 2 pods get sent to Earth. One's supposed to be Miranda going to Earth, and the second one's supposed to be David taking Calvin out into space so it doesn't get to Earth. But malfunctions happen, and it switches, and Miranda gets shot off to space, and David and Calvin end up coming to Earth and splashing down somewhere, probably in Asia, probably near Japan. I was just sitting there like, yeah, it's going to be Calvin there in the pod. I kind of knew that. It was still cool though. With that said, these are my likes, the things I did like about it. The opening shot kind of just lets you know that this was going to be a good film. The opening shot was just like on the horizon of Earth. It was just a very promising shot, and it paid off because it actually was a good film. Next thing I liked was the fact that it was a multinational crew, and it wasn't just all Americans or all Russians or all Japanese. Next is the fact that the characters didn't die in cheesy ways, or you didn't go like, oh, that was stupid. They were actually in pretty brutal ways, and you felt for the characters. Anytime you were in the presence of Calvin, you felt for the character like, shit, this is intense and terrifying. I do not want to be around this thing. Also, speaking of death scenes, Rory's death scene was pretty intense. Olga's death scene was really intense. You know, drowning in her suit because Calvin got to the cooling system. Calvin was just very smart. It was a very smart bad guy. Whenever you have a very smart alien, deadly bad guy, it's always very intense, and they did it really well. The design of it was very organic. Calvin's design wasn't too CGI. Obviously it was CGI, but it was the way it was drawn and designed was very organic. Like it was actually, it could actually be something that could grow in real life. You know what I mean? Like a single cell that then transforms and just gets bigger. You know, it didn't turn into something stupid looking. Also, I knew David, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, was going to be a good character in this prior to him revealing that he doesn't really like Earth and doesn't want to be down there anymore, and his place is in space. I like the fact also that they go to Earth at the end. It's a little nice juxtaposition from being in space the whole movie. The fact that they actually did that and they made it back to Earth, or somebody did, even though David's not really making it, because when he got back down to Earth, he was alive, but he was in this in the pod, you know, Calvin had created this web type of thing. It was almost like he changed his form or created some type of cocoon. I don't know, man. The movie was creepy as fuck. It was great. Calvin was creepy and a great, I guess, villain for a scary movie like this, or monster, or bad guy, whatever you want to call it. Also, the fact that he made you wait to see to the very end if it was Calvin who showed up to Earth or Miranda, because the way they shot it was really creative, where you didn't really obviously see if Calvin and David were going to Earth or if it was Miranda going. So you had to really wait till the door opened up, or till the fisherman looked through the door to see if it was going to be them or not, even though we kind of knew. That's a good way to end it, to have Calvin and David show up instead of it be the safe way, like, oh, it's a good ending. No, it's like a oh shit type of ending. Overall, though, it was a really good movie. Go check it out. My hands were sweating through most of it, and my hands don't sweat during movies. So let me know what you guys think about it. I got Ghost in the Shell coming up next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
We are all dead. Can you not see it?